Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the St. Johns County Chamber of Commerce Monthly Radio Hour. My name is Ed Dwyer, founder of Dwyer Advisory, a proud member of the Chamber, and your host the first Saturday of every month at 9 a.m. right here on WSOS 103.9. And today with us from the Chamber is Scott Maynard, Senior Vice President, Economic Development and Public Policy. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing wonderful, Scott. I tell you what, this is our fifth show. We kicked this off earlier this year to highlight the Chamber of Commerce here in St. Johns County, where there's a lot going on, and your website's awesome. There's a lot of things out there, but these first four shows and what we're going to do today has really been fun and inspiring, right? We're hearing from two members, Chamber members, each show, and it's often a long journey that they've been on. And what's also fun is we've had Chamber members been around for a long time and some that have just started, right? And that's a little bit of what we have today. And so for all of you listening out there, do know, too, that all of our shows are recorded and they're out on the Chamber website. And it's under news, and you can see the radio hour. So if you're interested in going back and seeing some of the interviews that we've had over the last couple of months, that's right
They're all there.
They're all there. So with that, Scott, why don't you introduce our first guest?
Yeah, so we had an event, and this gentleman's company was there to cater the event. And the first time I saw it, we were at K9 for Warriors, and man, the food was just outstanding. The presentation was outstanding, and I made a little mental note in my head, have to get this gentleman on the air. And then earlier in June, we had another huge event in Bartram Park. We had a Chamber After Hours, Beth Tate with Decca Lash, who's going to be one of our speakers here today as well. But she pulled a group of 10 Chamber members together and had a fantastic event. And Graze, Craze, Damon Graham was there and with Graze, Craze, and it was amazing again. So I talked with him about getting him here for the show, and we want to learn more about Graze Craze, how he got started with the company, and just more about the adventure of starting and opening this small business. So why don't you start there and tell us a little bit about your background and how you originally got into the Graze Craze franchise.
Yes, Scott, absolutely. First off, appreciate you inviting me on today. Definitely appreciate all the work the Chamber's done, and being a new member. It's great to get involved with the St. Johns County community. Graze Craze, it's a franchise. It was actually one of my good friends, Dan Mariotti. Dan and I also work together. When we're not building charcuterie boards, we're actually both professional pilots. We both fly for the same private airline. So Dan was always looking for, another something else to do with our off time, since we got about half the month off each month. And he was always looking for different franchises, and he came across Graze Craze. And it kind of tied in with, we both have, restaurant and bar experience in the past. Dan's owned a few restaurants up in Connecticut, where he's from, and he's always been more of an entrepreneur. I was more of just the bartender serving drinks, and wasn't really looking to get into any kind of business. My main job that I have is plenty enough for me, but this really intrigued me, and also my wife Rachel. She had been at J.P. Morgan Chase the last 15 years, and she was kind of burnt out of the corporate environment and was looking for a change. And so when Dan came up with this opportunity, it just seemed like it was a really good time to try something different and get outside the box where you're not comfortable, and try to build something new. And so that's when we decided to purchase a franchise up in Ponte Vedra Beach. And it's been quite an adventure for the last several months getting this going.
I mentioned the quality of the food, and it's fantastic. I know the cheeses you pick and the meats is very, very high quality, and the taste is just unbelievable. But I think I was just equally as impressed with the presentation and how each event that I've seen you caterer, the presentation has just been unbelievable.
Well, that I wish I could take credit for that, but that's definitely a Rachel's doing. She has a creative mind more than I do, and I just kind of put things where she tells me to, like any good husband should.
Talk about the franchise itself. I've done some research on the web, and they seem equally committed to the customer as they do to the employee and the franchisee, and have some really strong values backing that.
Yeah, so Graze Craze, it originated out in Oklahoma City back around 2018 or 19. And it was purchased by a United Franchise Group, and they sell franchises. So they don't actually operate the stores; they just sell franchises, and they sell different in different industries as well. Yeah, they have a nice training program. My wife went down there for 2 weeks to learn how to be a grazeologist and how the ins and outs of the business work. And they came up and did a few weeks of training in our store once we were ready to open. And so they give you a lot of support to get things going. But of course, with anybody else can tell you, a small business owner, it's most of it's on your shoulders to go out there and make it happen. So it's like I said, it's been quite the ride to get where we are so far.
And it's really 24/7. It's when you're running your own business, you're thinking about it or acting on it.
Oh
all the time.
You wake up from dreams. You're like, did that happen, or is this just a dream, or is it a nightmare? I'm not sure sometimes, but it's you definitely think about it all the time. How you can improve things, mistakes you made, because of course when you first start off, there's plenty of mistakes to be made. And as long as you learn from them, correct them and figure out a way to do things better the next day. There's nothing wrong with making some mistakes along the way.
That's what you learn from. That's how you grow. So there's nothing wrong with that. You're absolutely correct. I noticed the term grazeologist, and I thought that's an interesting phrase, a good mixologist. But as I dove into that a little more, it's really a lot about dietary needs and dietary issues and making sure that the board that the customer is looking for meets all of their specification and dietary needs or food allergy needs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have several different styles of boards that we do. Our classic, which is our Gone Grazy, that is your traditional charcuterie board, meats and cheeses, fresh baked breads, crackers, the fresh fruits and vegetables on it as well. And we also do a vegetarian board as well, which is our Vegegrazian, and we'll also do a keto board. We also have gluten-free options for folks who are worried about gluten. And also we do a sweet board, so our Sweet and Grazy, more like a dessert board, lots of sweet fruits and brownies and cookies and all that good stuff.
You mentioned you were a pilot. I know that is a very demanding job. Switching to business owner, how has that changed, and what new challenges have you discovered as you started this journey?
It's a whole new set of challenges for sure. Flying an airplane, it's kind of comes. It's not an easy job, but you train a lot for everything that's going to happen. So there's hopefully no surprises when you're flying the plane. But being a business owner, it's just a new set of challenges, things you're not used to. So you have to adapt a lot. You have to kind of figure things out when there's no one else there to give you the guidance, and hopefully you make the right decision. Like I said, that goes back to if you make some errors at the Graze Craze, it's not as big as making an error up in the airplane. So.
And you're still flying though, right?
And I'm still flying. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a team effort. You said your wife, she's basically running it while you're off flying, and that's a great partnership there.
Yeah, exactly. When Dan pitched this thing to us, I was like, oh, great. This is kind of, the absentee owner kind of job, but it's far from that. I'm definitely there while I'm in town, and lending a hand to as we get this thing off the ground. We're trying to keep obviously our costs down, keep your labor costs down, keep your waste down. So by spending time in there, enables us to definitely keep those labor costs down.
Tell people where we can find you.
Absolutely, we're down up in Ponte Vedra Beach at the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center off Solano Road, 254 Solano Road. in beautiful Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. And you can reach us on our website at www.grazecraze.com/Ponte-Vedra-Beach-Florida. That's a long email.
All right,
address.
just Google
Just Google us, yeah.
Google Graze, and you'll find it. Craze. That's amazing. Dearman, thank you for coming by. Great story, and good luck to you. We'll come check you out. And so before we go to a break, just wanted to tell you what else is coming. We've got Dave Irely here, who is the founder of Accelerate PV. Kind of an interesting story. We look forward to hearing about what he is doing with this new business, relatively new business. Beth Tate is here with the Kesley Group, and she is kind of almost with the chamber, Scott, right? She's the chair of the Public Policy Committee, is really a part of the chamber team in terms of keeping her eyes on what's going on at the county commissioners' meetings and so on, and very well connected with all things in the community. And one big topic we've been talking a lot about at the chamber is attainable housing for workforce and whatnot. So we'll be talking about that in our third segment. In our fourth segment, we'll be having kind of a review of all what's going on. And Leah Meyer is here with the chamber to join Scott. So with that, we'll be right back.